Cheers, man.
Cheers,
Nice
man.
to meet you
Thank
guys.
you so much. What a pleasant random surprise.
He works in mysterious ways.
Indeed. Well, we're spending this whole week doing tech stuff in Nashville or in Tennessee. And obviously, once again, tech and entertainment are colliding. I was just curious if you mess around with AI stuff, what you think about it.
Everything I do is with AI now. Google's like obsolete.
For your like day-to-day.
Just day-to-day everything. When I'm asking questions or trying to do this or that, or yeah, AI is everything. And, even had a great meeting with, my pickleball partner and friend Shane Mack and with Mike, who started Suno. And I got some other artists and people involved in the business, high-level record company people, whatnot. And we kind of sat down, just talked about, like, off the record, like, hey, let's talk about AI, because everyone's kind of freaking out right now. And it really reminded me of Napster. And I had a very different position on Napster back in the day when my friend Lars was going after, and they're like, basically it was like, they're stealing from you. The record companies are getting everybody worked up that they're stealing from the artists.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, I get that, but aren't they stealing from the record companies? They're like, yeah. And I go, awesome. I go, they've been crooks for years.
Yeah.
I mean, they're scum of the earth, the way they've treated artists and from the beginning of time, it's still going on. So now the same thing's happening. They're getting all the artists' panties in a bunch about AI. Number one, you're not going to stop AI. Number two, we kind of use AI every time we write a song. We're like, oh, let's write something like this Beatles thing, but with like, more of a Tom Petty guitar. Like, you're kind of going through in your head.
Yeah.
AI is just, it's a lot better at doing it for
Just
you.
another tool. Yeah.
So, but what the record companies are trying to do right now is they're going to get everybody worked up like they did about streaming, like they did about Napster, all this stuff. And what happened? Let's just go back and what happened there. You get all this artists worked up, they're stealing from you, and the streaming isn't paying you, and this, that, and the other. Get all the artists worked up, what happens? All the record labels go get tens upon millions of dollars, like $50 million advances from YouTube and everyone else to license them their catalogs. How many of you artists got any of that money? None of you.
Yeah.
Once again, record companies raped you. They're going to do the same thing with AI. They own all the content, so they're going to go get all the artists to do all their dirty work. They're stealing from us. They're stealing from us. And then the record companies are going to go cut deals with these AI companies where they get millions upon millions of dollars, and they're not going to give a penny to the artists. That's a fact. That's what they're trying to do right now. So AI, I don't care. Now the songwriters, I have a special place in my heart for them. Like I don't know how it works out for them. Like there might have to be some legislation there or whatnot, and maybe even for artists too. I'm not against it, but I don't think we need to be unreasonable about something that we can't stop.
So yeah, I remember. So Napster was the first big story I covered when I became a reporter, and I remember hating the record labels, and I remember Lars doing his thing. Like you said, it didn't work out that well. On the songwriter front, I mean, that feels like the actual lifeblood of Nashville in a lot of ways. I mean, there's a lot of live music, but the songwriters are kind of
But the songwriters are already using it as another tool. It's another tool. Like we were just talking in the car. Man, you can build a house with a rock. You can pound in a nail with a rock if you want.
Yeah.
Go for it. Or you can get a nail gun and build a house. Technology, it's another tool and you're not going to stop it. So let's figure out how to use it, make life better. There's going to be some adjustments. Yeah, industries are going to, lose some workers and stuff, but they'll come back in other spaces somewhere. It's always worked out throughout time. So that's the attitude. I mean, my attitude personally is like, let's call it if 100,000 people want to be out there writing songs with my, with my intellectual property, whatever, my voice, this and the other, go for it.
Yeah.
I hope somebody nails one.
Yeah.
If you nail one, I'll give you a piece of it because I get to go sing that live and we make the majority of our money live at the gate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, now what's going to happen? There's going to be the other half of the country that are writing songs like, Kid Rock wants to blow Joe Biden.
I'm not actually Kid Rock, but you heard what the man said. Make a version of a Kid Rock song with AI and leave a link to it in the comments. We'll send the best version of Mr. Rock. Make America proud.
Hey, I'll laugh at that too. There'll probably be some funny stuff there.
I love that one, man.
Yeah, right?
So you're saying you had the CEO or one of the founders of Suno and a bunch of record label execs.
Had a record label exec, had another high profile artist. I don't know if they want their names thrown out there because it was kind of a behind doors meeting just to try nothing formal. Like, hey, here's a guy that started this company. Let's let him talk and let's tell him your concerns, our concerns, and it doesn't have to be anything formal, you know?
And like, well, and how did it go? I mean, were people at each other's throats or they were open?
Well, it was really one thing I was not crazy about is one of the high-level record company people were there. It's not up front. It wasn't the end of the world, but it was like 2 days later, they filed a lawsuit. And I was like, that probably should have been, you probably should have, recused yourself from the meeting. Like, hey, we're getting ready to file a lawsuit.
You don't think your dinner forced this? You think they planned it before the dinner?
I'm sure it was already planned, but I don't think she used anything from that meeting to help that lawsuit. That would be, I mean, I wouldn't put it past a record company to do that, but I don't believe they did. I hope they didn't, because that's just plain wrong. You know, we're just trying to have an honest conversation. If people can't just talk off the record about things before we get legislation and politicians and everything, and everyone gets their panties in a bunch about it, like, I think we just need to have more conversations about things rather than one side screaming at the other side, and screw you and blah, 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 like this. Let's just talk about it and see if we can come to some understanding and make things simple on everybody.
So if we cut forward 5 years, like we saw with the last round of the writer strikes in Hollywood, AI was like this top thing, obviously. Yeah, I mean,
if Hollywood burned tomorrow, I'm not going to shed a tear.
Well, so
I'm not their biggest fan.
So what do you think? You think 5 years from now we're still talking about this, or it's just same old, same old? It's a tool that people use to do more stuff.
I mean, look, they're still fighting over, streaming rights and payment and stuff like that. And, I think there's valid arguments on both sides. Of course, I'm going to take the sides of musicians and the songwriters if it's reasonable. Right, so I think we're going to be talking about this for a long, long time, because AI is learning faster than we are. Everything it's doing, it's I sit there like a lot of people, I'm sure you guys do too, and think, where's this going to end up? We were just talking in the car. I was saying to a friend this morning, I'm like, we're going to be probably watching TV in a few years. And let's call it a show like Yellowstone was a big popular show. I'm like, you're literally going to be able to like watch, they create the characters and whatever's on there. And then you're going to be able to input what you want those characters to do next. I want so-and-so to sleep with that person. And I want that guy to be killed. And you're going to be able to like probably plug in your input in like almost real time and create your own shows with these characters that now Hollywood's created. Yeah. So I think there's always going to be work for all sides, but there's going to be some things that you're not needed for anymore. And that's just been the history of the world.
What'd you think of our song that we made?
I thought it was average. I don't think you might want to stick in the tech lane.
I was pretty impressed with myself.
I haven't used AI to create the actual songs. Okay. I have created songs on Suno and places like that, but my thing's just like completely inappropriate, dirty ass. Like it's just warped mind stuff. Like putting it into there.
Do you think you'll use it like for actual?
Oh yeah, I'll use it for a lyric here and there. I mean, I got these other programs I use that are like, where you keep your songs in a cloud somewhere, but then like has a rhyming dictionary in there. So if you try to bounce off a word, it'll just spit out all the words that rhyme with it or close to it. But now I can just do that in AI. Yeah, I could say I can a worm that rhymes with couch. But I want it to be a sentimental, love, something to do with falling in love your first time on a couch. And you need it to rhyme, and it could be a little, and boom, it spits them out. So sure, I can sit there and think about it all day. I mean, I started off like, I was taught by one of my heroes in the hip hop game, KRS-One, years ago, to write the alphabet across the top of the paper. So then when it's, couch, you go, ouch, blouch, couch, douch, ouch. You go through the alphabet and just see what rhymes with it. Hey, I was just doing that speed of light that I can't compete with. And if it helps me write better songs, great.
Use your brain. Switch to Brex to upgrade your finances.
Do you have a sense, it's hard to like generalize, I guess, but for most songwriters in Nashville, do you have a sense if they're like using stuff like Suno? How
they're using it. They're using AI. Yeah, all the songwriters are using AI.
Like I play pickleball in secret, or
I mean, they do it in these writers' rooms. There's 3, 4 of them writing it, and I mean, why are you not going to use one of the best tools in your bag? Yeah. If you're not using it, I tell people like that work for me, like when I'm building this room, it's not even just AI. It's just using tools that are in your bag to make like we're trying to get these ceiling tiles, and I got these great rednecks that have built everything for me. They're awesome. But they got their suppliers they've used for eons. It's that and the other, like, we can't get ceiling tiles in time. I'm like, what are you talking about? Did you go on Amazon? I click on Amazon. I'm like, I just ordered them. They'll be here in 2 days.
Yeah.
I'm like, if your supplier can't keep up with the times, if you're not using AI, I'm telling, people that work for it, like, look, if you're not using AI for the things we got going, like, we've had trouble for years with travel agents. We have a lot of stuff to book when we're on the road for 50, 60 people and moving them around here to there. And it's a lot of work, blah, blah, blah. I go, AI can do this. Like if we're still looking for a travel agent and they're still moving at the speed of, an inchworm or whatever, like they got to go.
Yeah.
Like if people aren't using this tool, to help us move forward and everything we're trying to accomplish business wise or even personally, I'm like, I got to go. If you're not on board with this and it's helping us out, like, even my health stuff, everything. It's just inputting into AI. I can remember everything. I can plug in my executive physicals. And then, it spits out like, will this supplement be good for me? Would you? And then, of course, I asked my doctor about it. But with my health regimen, working out, eating, everything. And I'm going to do that with AI, with music too, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. I find that AI has like limitless time to listen to, your health concerns and give you advice.
I think it was more studying and be knowledgeable and learning whatever craft it is or business you're in or what you want to do in your life, whatever you want to call it. But it's kind of flipping a little bit to being like, how good are you at asking questions?
Yeah.
Rather than learning, you're going to learn, but now you have to really, there's certain people who have different skill sets in life, just even thinking wise, brain function wise. And like the ones who that were great learners, like I wasn't a great learner in school. For a lot of reasons. I was a complete idiot, but I was just not that book smart, not good with math, things like that. But I know the questions to ask.
Yeah.
I was street smart and I can always ask the right questions. I'm like, so I might excel a little more than the book smart person at AI. Who knows? That's just my guess. I'm just throwing paint at the wall with you right now.
Everything's worked out for you. Okay. Looks of it. All right. Last question. I don't think it's too late, man. I mean, people who haven't been to Tennessee, what should they know? What's the best thing to do here?
That depends what you're looking. If you're coming to Nashville, you don't come to Nashville to chill. People come lose their minds on Broadway.
Yeah.
But there's so much in Tennessee. I mean, East Tennessee is just drop dead gorgeous. Smoky Mountains, one of the greatest parks we have. I mean, if you got kids to go to Dollywood, it's absolutely, I'm taking my granddaughter there this fall. Like it's just beautiful over there, the Pigeon Forge area. Like Nashville's just, if you love music and, have a good time, have drinks, go honky tonk, and it's the best place on earth, hands down. And it really is Music City now. It used to be, there used to be a lot to be said for LA and New York City. So where I kind of came up music scene. I moved to Detroit, but when I was trying to make record deals and things like that, I spent a lot of time in New York City, and it's in Nashville now. The music capital of the world is Nashville, Tennessee. So, I mean, the number one thing you hear down here from everybody, and I can confirm, is that people are so nice.
Yeah.
So we try to make sure we can keep it that way. We tell all the people, like, don't California up my Nashville. Like, don't. I actually got bumper stickers made that say, don't turn Nashville into the shithole city you moved here from.
But like Nashville's, it's the liberal.
Yeah, Nashville's liberal. New
Yeah.
Memphis. It's
Yeah.
Shelby County and Davidson County, they are blue. And then the rest of the state's red. Knoxville's like a little on the board.
So do people give you shit
more
in
blue dog.
Nashville?
No, it's more like Blue Dog Democrat.
Okay.
It's kind of Al Gore country,
Yeah.
That's where he's from. Like, it's not, to me, like whacked out, nut job lunatic. Like, let's put tampons in boys' bathroom left wing, that crap. It's I can deal with anybody,
Yeah.
It's more reasonable. Like, I'm more socially liberal than people would probably think, I
Yeah.
don't care if you're gay and this and I give a crap. But no,
Yeah.
I don't want, dudes playing on my daughter's soccer team. No, I'll draw the line there. But other than that, I'm pretty socially liberal on a lot of things. But so no, it's not a wacky. There's whack jobs here, but on both sides. So,
All right. All right. I lied. Last question. What should I get to eat?
are you steak or seafood guy?
Mostly steak.
Mostly steak.
But I will do
I get one of those
seafood.
dry aged ribeye, or if you want to try that Australian Wagyu, people rave about that. If you just want to be decadent, we'll get a tomahawk and just get it chopped up to the middle of the table.
My mom's Australian. I might have to
There you go.
do that.
See how that holds up. You've traveled the world, so
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thanks for having us here, man. Appreciate it.
Cheers, man.
It's really nice of you.
Pleasure.
That was great. Thank you so much.